Mm.
Hi, this is Jenny Bair with Perfect Practice Coaching, and I'm here with my friend OJ Thomas of Total Pay Solutions. And you might be wondering, why Total Pay Solutions? Well, I'll tell you why. I actually met OJ through my friend Dr. John Sherman, who's an OB-GYN in the Georgetown, Texas area. And he actually knows OJ. I think you guys have been friends for, I don't know how long, but a while.
Yeah.
And Dr. John, he's very logical and very fun. And one of the things that he said was, I want to help other providers save money on their credit card processing fees. And he's doing the quick math. If they save this much per year, then it's this much, this much per month, then they save this much per year. And I always kept that in the back of my mind. And as I came across a practice that was an appropriate referral, I gave it to Dr. John. Well, anyway, after my new career transition back to coaching and consulting with practices, I thought I need to get in touch with OJ because it is definitely a common uh, practice that sometimes if people have, especially in the healthcare world, if they have an EMR, they're sort of made to do the point of sale and the credit card transaction through that EMR. So I wanted to be able to help people save their money so that they can put their money into other areas of their business or life or whatever they want to, spend their money on. So today I'm going to give an interview to OJ to find out more about Total Pay Solutions and how he can help not only healthcare providers because they have platforms for healthcare providers, but they help every type of business owner, small, medium, large. And they do also more than credit card processing. But anyway, OJ, take it away. Why don't you give the people watching a background about who you are and why you're with Total Pay Solutions?
Sure. OJ Thomas, uh, Total Pay Solutions. We've been around since 2017. I started this company after leaving Woodforest Bank, actually. I was a director of Woodforest Bank for sales. Left them to go back out on my own after they were bought out by PaySafe. Throwing a little name out there. I've been in the industry for over about 27 years. Started with a company called Veritrans as a regular outside sales agent and worked my way up to become the president and then ended up selling.
Awesome.
And that's how I ended up in WorldPay. I mean, I keep saying WorldPay, but
Total Pay.
well, I ended up with TotalPay, but before that, I was with Woodforest Bank for a
Oh,
couple of years,
gotcha.
and then it came back into a ownership. Started TotalPay Solution, and we built it up since 2017 to be one of the top-notch leaders in innovation and leading with the most advanced technology that that's out there currently, and that's the way we like it. It's real simple, cloud-based systems that we use, real time. So anything that our systems never go down. I can't, not they may if they do, everything's stored in the cloud, so nothing's ever lost.
Gotcha.
Which makes everything really great compared to the old times when things would go down and you'd lose everything.
Oh, that would
That
be horrible. I can't
that
even
does not
imagine
happen.
that.
It was bad. Uh, Time frame for setting somebody up, days to hours now. Everything has been moving greatly forward to make it easier on the merchant to get a system, get it up and running. Pretty much, you know, I hate to say the word, but dummy proof. It helps. It 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 is very simple to use, and then there's guides that we have, like YouTube videos, all kinds of stuff that
Right.
we use to help our merchants get up and running. Not to mention the personal touch of helping them get set up with the systems that
A
we
real person. Yeah.
real person correct.
And you have a really lovely person that is super helpful at your practice too, Ashley. Um,
Ashley, she's a great help. She's our office manager, and she is fantastic.
yeah, she is. She's very
I
organized and
very organized, and I've never had a merchant ever say anything bad about her. That every merchant loves her,
yeah.
and honestly, she's the best person that keeps our merchants with us.
Right.
They love she definitely takes care of them.
I believe that. Can you give us a list? So today we're kind of focusing on credit card processing, which is a big thing, but are there other services that your company provides?
Yeah, credit card processing is our core.
Mhm.
Just like any other business, we have our core business, and everything fits around that.
Right.
We do offer POS systems, like I mentioned, terminals. So we do offer the hardware when we load our software, back-end software. So everything's turnkey. We do offer ACH processing, check service processing, check
Mhm.
guarantee processing. With our systems, we also can offer cash. So you can use the system as a POS system without having a full-blown POS system. We can actually condense it down to a standalone terminal that connects to our cloud-based system
Mhm.
that can actually run the cash for you. Gift card program. We have gift cards. Golly.
You don't you do some loans too?
We do business loans, correct.
Payroll? Okay.
Business loans, not so much payroll. That is a third party that we would send out because obviously there's a lot of legalities that we don't want to get involved with.
Mhm.
But as far as business loans, yes, we do those. We do that against the credit card processing or the cash. We can either do it on the whole or just a credit card processing, and then of course take a little percentage out every month, so the business does not get hurt by any income being taken out. We take the percentage that fits their ability to continue to grow.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, okay. So I want to ask you some questions about things that every merchant should know when they're choosing a credit card processor. And I'm reading this off my phone because it's Tiny Tim. What pricing model am I going to be placed on? I'm sure that's a question from a lot of people.
Well, it is and it's not because a lot of people don't know the different pricings out there, which
Right.
we offer. A lot of people just know about the flat rate nowadays, which is the most expensive way to sign up. I know Square, PayPal, those guys they do the flat rate pricing, but what the merchant doesn't know that there's a whole cost behind that, and there's a mathematical reason why it's so high, because they have to cover the whole interchange, which is our basically cost of doing business. Like everyone has a cost of doing business. The banks give us a thick every 2 times a year. It's called the interchange, and it's public knowledge. So any merchant go out there, type it up in Google, interchange 2026 or 20 whatever year it is, and they can see what our cost is. It's not hidden, and they'll
Gotcha.
understand why these PayPal and Square charge so high because they got to cover this cost. That's flat rate. Now that makes the most profit for us, period, because we everything quick example, a debit check card, you run it as a
Mhm.
credit card, it's 0.5% cost. They're paying over 3% for that same card. That 0.5% to 3%, that 2% is pure profit for Square. And
Wowzers.
so that's why it's so profitable with their model. Uh, Now, to make it clear, they are not a credit card processor. They're called aggregators. So they don't actually have to be set up a merchant with an MID to give them total control of their business. The other way is dual pricing, which we can pass the cost on to you or to the customer, and you pay zero for credit card fees. Only monthly fees that are anywhere from $12 to $22, depending on the system that you choose. Uh, uh,
Meaning that, so give us an example. Let's say I'm a med spa. Just give us an example for those of us that aren't good at math. So you're just,
okay. So we're setting up a med spa. Let's just say we're going to put a terminal in there with the back office portal that they want to use to send invoices or
Mhm.
send QR codes, to put them up on reoccurring billing. And our system does all of that. Very simple to set up. That charge for the front end and back end is $22 a month uh,
Wow.
for the whole system. And that includes QuickBooks integration. That includes reoccurring payments. That includes account updater, which is a whole nother system that allows us to go out collect information from existing cards on file, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, pulls updated information. So you never have to go back out and get updated credit card information because our system does it for you.
That's
This,
amazing. So
yeah,
for example, so when you say subscription, so all the people that are in healthcare and cash pay practices, that would be like your memberships, right? They could go ahead and set it up where there's a monthly draw on a card or a ACH. Is that what you're saying?
that
Or
is,
a credit card?
yeah, you could do it on ACH, that is correct, or credit card. You can give them the option. It sends it out. It says pay by credit card, pay by cash.
Love it.
Or not cash per se, but ACH,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they can pay it off, or they can put themselves on a it can also give them an option to say, do you want to set up a recurring payment, and it even gives them the option how they want to set it up. So
That's
it gives you full autonomy to be able to handle everything from nuts to bolts on the customer side, or in this
mhm.
case, the patient side,
Yeah.
as, as you mentioned. So yes, it gives them control over how they want to pay and how much they need to pay, or how much can they afford at that time. So it allows them to practice, or even the business
Business.
to help that customer out or give them on a payment plan. And that's
Right. And make
simple.
sure that income is coming in, even if it's not the full amount, like you're saying, if they needed
Right.
a payment plan. Yeah, but you're still capturing revenue coming into the practice, getting it back. I love that. So, so you have this question on here. So what is my true effective rate? How is that?
So uh, most people don't realize what an effective rate is. Basically, the effective rate is the total taken out from the month divided by the total income taken in by credit cards. That gives you your true rate. All the other bells and whistles that are on your statement, showing you discount this, discount
Yeah.
that, whatever. Your sales agent told you, hey, you're going to get this rate. None of that actually is true or correct until you check your effective rate, because the effective rate adds additional the fees that no one talk about. Uh,
Okay.
your
Like what?
fees, your card on file fees, all different fees that the processor charges. That sometimes we pass through, sometimes we roll in, depending on the price. And again, if it's a flat rate, it's all rolled into that. It is simple when it's on a flat rate to do your effective rate, because it should be, if you're paying 2.90 plus 15 to 20 30 cents, it should add up to 2.90, whatever the plus
Oh,
30
gotcha.
per
Yeah.
transaction. That's simple math. But when you're doing you know dual pricing should also fall into that category. But if you're doing true interchange plus, where big business runs,
Mm-hmm.
and we can offer this. We call it the Walmart deal, because you can pass through the cost to the customer. It's hard for them to understand that that's the best way to go. You're charging maybe 0.5% on top of interchange, so that check card I just mentioned, that's 0.5%,
Mm-hmm.
paying 2.90, you're paying 1% on that with us. As interchange. But the catch is that your rate fluctuates, because there's no set rate. It fluctuates depending on the card type you take. So
Oh,
the
I
best
see.
way so the best way to understand your effective rate, or your rate that you're doing, is divide the total taken out for the month by the income, and that's going to give you your rate that you're paying with interchange. And this basically stands for interchange, because the other one's dual pricing is 4% that's taken out. Surcharge, you max out at 3%. You can't do anything higher than 3%. Colorado, I think, is a max of 2. Uh, but
Well, thank you, Colorado, maybe. No, not for
Yeah,
you, but
thank you,
maybe
Colorado.
for the customer.
Colorado maxes out at 2%. You can't do over. And so another good thing about is knowing the laws of the states. Every state is a little bit different. So we are a national business. So
So
we
you got to know all of it, all
have
50 states. Yeah.
we have
Woo.
all 50 states and every laws that are required by those states. From New York to California, they all have little differences that we have to abide by.
Hmm.
And again, that all goes back to the effective rate of being able to understand what your rate is and knowing if you have a good or bad deal, because the effective rate will tell you. Somebody can tell you you're paying, oh no, we're going to get you down to 1.50. Well, first off, I know 1.50 is below interchange, so it's not true. Secondly, they do it on, and I can get really in depth in this, but they only give you a fraction of what the actual cost is. They don't tell you the additional. They're giving you only the best rate, but that rate
Gotcha.
only applies to maybe a fraction of our interchange cost.
Hmm.
So you don't know your real rate. All of a sudden, you're paying 3%, and you were told, well, I'm paying. What happened to one? Well, that's only on qualified cars that don't have any rewards, don't have any of this, don't have, so you don't know what you're paying. You don't know what you're getting until you get the
Wow.
effective rate, and you're like, well, oh, well, you told me this, and this is, well, that's how sales agents get unfortunately, business owners like that, and it's a
Yeah,
bad.
and get
So we don't
that's
do
bad
it.
mojo, right?
It's bad
Better to
mojo.
be
It's
honest.
really done on new businesses a lot. We don't really particularly go after new businesses because of this issue, because they are unfortunately want to hear what they want to hear. Where we go in and we're looking for businesses, honestly, that are 3 years or older that can get us a solid credit card statement, and we break that down for you. And so there's no if and buts about it. There's no questions. These are the math. These are the numbers. This is the savings. This is the system that we're loading in for you.
Right.
Let's partner for the next 20 years. You know.
Well, that's cool. Well, so speak more to that about the process of if somebody's interested, like how many months of history do they show you?
They can show us up to 3 months.
Okay.
Realistic, just 1 month is good enough. If it's a slow month, we may say, hey, but, this looks a little low for your industry. Do you have high months and low months? And then so we know to do what numbers to work, because we want to make sure that
Right.
they are getting the best possible price on that. So that, it's really important with that they provide us with a credit card statement. A lot, some merchants want to do blind bids, and we do that no problem. But again, we can't offer the best possible price because we have to
Right.
cover our cost, and then we also base it on the industry that they're in. The
Instead of the actual numbers.
extent of the actual numbers, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's just say that they go ahead and give you all the numbers and they become a client. So, what type of support do they receive after the account is approved? And maybe you can speak a little bit to that approval process.
Yeah, perfect. The approval process, basically, our system is all automated. So we work with a built-in CRM that is industry standard. It's all electronic, digital. So we send out what we call a web form. The merchant will fill that information out, send it in. It'll do a quick conflict check on what we have in our system. If we update it, if necessary, we send it back out for signature. Comes back in, it goes directly into underwriting. Let's just say it gets approved. We can from there we set up the system that they want. We build what we call a bar sheet. We load that system into the system. If we also can do existing businesses. So if they have a system that we can reprogram,
Mm,
we can also do that. So we don't. It's not required to buy hardware from us. We can
okay.
program existing stuff. Uh,
Which is
so
why it's best to give you as much information up front with all your systems and why you want to meet
correct.
with people and get all the details.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And so from that, it gets approved. System either gets downloaded on site, or we send like information out with the system, and then it is usually depending on if it's local Texas area, Houston area, which we're local, we go out in person. If not, it's usually a Zoom
Okay.
on training on what's going on, and we try to get all the staff on there, and we set up a time. And then support is where we really shine. Our support, our corporate office hours are open from 8:30 to 5:30, and of course Ashley and that group handle all that, and they're fantastic.
Hmm.
And we do have after hour 24/7 support, which rolls into that. On their statement, it has their after hour phone number support. So It's important that they understand and look at their statement. Also on
It's also in their system, I think, too,
it's
right? When
also
you
in their
log in,
system.
it has all the numbers.
That is correct. They have access to our CRM. There's a merchant-facing CRM. Plus, if they're using certain of our equipment, there's also a portal that they can use that will connect directly to the after-hour support, depending on the system. And so the after-hour support will take that on until the next day, obviously, when we come in at 8:30 and the office opens up. But we do so the 24-hour support
That's
rolls over
great.
to the actual processor of that individual's business.
And I know when I was getting stuck on filling out, I forget what form you call it, like that you're submitting to the US Pay or World Pay or whatever, that complex form. Anyway, Ashley got on a Zoom and like, da 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 da. Okay, this is what it means. Do this. Da 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 da. Da. And so that helped. I will say Ashley's a gem.
Yeah,
Um,
she's great, and
also are you,
she's
but
funny, and she's funny. So
yeah,
you have a good
very.
time. You have a there's a it's always a good time talking to Ashley.
Now, I have another question. So I hear a lot of people talk in practices, and maybe you can just clarify this for everybody. So you alluded to there's different prices for different ways that people pay, right? So credit card versus debit card versus ACH, or whether they actually swipe versus manually enter the card. So I do hear people talking about that in practices. So can you clarify the mysticism behind all that?
By the different ways of they run the transaction.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Yeah,
the cheapest way to run the transaction?
the cheapest way to run the transaction is using the chip reader.
Okay.
Using the chip or tap. Those are the cheapest way. Most again, this all goes back to interchange, and this is why Square is so expensive. They got to cover the highest cost. There's different levels of transactions costs. We call them qual, mid, and non-quals. Okay, the calls is what a lot of these sales agents base their pricing on, and
Mhm.
that's where everything falls apart for these new businesses. Oh, we're going to give you 1.50 or 1.89 rate. Okay, but that's only on the qual. That doesn't take on into account the mid and non-quals. Now, the difference between those, and I'll be very brief on this because I can get in really
Very
detail.
technical.
The qual are basic cards. They have their check cards or basic credit cards, which don't really exist anymore because most cards have world points to them. So they
Hmm.
have any type of points or rewards or very basic, nothing to them. Those are qual. Now, there's
Okay.
a fraction of them nowadays. The majority of cards nowadays are have some kind of reward, cash back, or anything like that. Those
Mhm.
are mid qual. Those are more expensive because those cards
It
are
has to
now
be tracked
on.
somehow.
Yes, it has to be tracked. Has to be those rewards are being paid by the merchant, and that's why the dual pricing is great nowadays.
Mm.
You push that back to the customer, let them pay the bill, let them pay that fee. And then you have your non-quals. Your non-quals are your business cards, your Amexes, your uh, uh, black cards, your business cards that are tied to basically to a business. Those are non-quals because they are the hardest ones to have chargeback because those cards are usually assigned to different people from the business. So you have it's harder for everything's based on chargebacks. So that's the hardest way to really uh, recoup your cost if you lose because those business cards are a
Right.
lot more protected than the regular ones. So, and that's how the pricing structure works. Um, the Man, I just lost my train of thought. What was the
Oh,
question
it's
again?
okay. I don't even remember. No, I asked you, what's the difference between like whether you enter a card manually or
Correct. And
swipe
I
it
went
or
way off subject.
you
So
want to know that? I mean,
basically, if you do the credit cards swipe, that's the best way. And
okay.
again, I guess I just already explained it in really detail. If you key it in or Moto Internet, those are higher risk cards. So those are higher fees.
Mm.
Those go into your different mid qual and non quals. So if you're doing Moto, which is mail order, telephone order, or e-commerce, you're falling into the mid or non-quals, depending because again, it all goes back to risk, chargeback. What can we protect? So the best way to do it is chip
That makes sense.
with a signature. Now
Hmm.
there are always quote unquote abilities to go around that. Like for small ticket, $25 or less, you don't have to have. There's no way to charge back the $25 or less uh, 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 because that's just considered a small ticket, and you don't need
Right.
signature as long as you're doing the chip. And if you're swiping it, then you leave yourself open. But the only time you swipe it is when the terminal tells you to.
So sorry. I don't know if you can see my dog, but she's decided that she needs. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Attention.
Yeah, she decided. Okay, just for
Was that a
1 minute.
nose that popped up?
Yeah. Okay, so no,
Well, well, the
no,
good
sit
thing
down.
it looked like a mic. It looked
Oh,
like a
okay. Sit down. Sit down. Just give us a few more minutes. We're almost there. Okay, so let me ask you another question. So people might have the question, hey, if I need the little card readers or print, or let's say they have a different kind of business than a med spa and healthcare place, because usually they come in at the same spot and they leave. Either, they have a check-in and a checkout. Whereas other businesses, let's say they are a restaurant or a coffee shop or something like that, where you've got equipment that's back in the kitchen and up front and that type of thing. So, how does your equipment situation work when you sign up to be a merchant?
well, that obviously is what we call a POS system for restaurants, even retail that carry
Right.
inventory. Basically, it's a turnkey solution. We do have several different options. I don't want to go into each one of them, but basically, our POS systems. The main one that we use, I will talk about, is ePause. We
Hmm.
actually can put one out at no cost to them. Uh, and then it's a monthly cost of $74 a month for the ongoing software support.
And
This
the support seems amazing. I love that gal.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Yeah.
Support with them is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
the best first thing I always look for is the support. What support? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But obviously having a good system. But
Mhm.
when it goes wrong, we
Right.
want to make sure that our customers, yeah,
Yeah.
there's somebody to call. And the cool thing is she's in Britain, so this is great for after hours
Hmm.
because they are open
Yep.
and they are taking phone calls for restaurants and bars. It's a turnkey solution. Basically, the way it works, if it's a restaurant, there's a questionnaire. What do you want? How's the system? We we prefer to go out in person and check the Wi because it has to make sure that everything is connecting
Together.
correctly. If they
Right.
want Wi-Fi, we need to check the Wi-Fi signal, making sure it's strong. If it's a new business, make sure it's being wired correctly. So it is a process sometimes, or if it's an existing business and they want a new system, we just replace what they have, knowing that their system that it's obviously process, that the system that they do have enough juice, I guess you can say, to run the systems. Everything's can be Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. The printer is built in. You can either have a built-in external up front, and then of course you have your your kitchen printers, and then you have your remote printers, and you have your handhelds if you want to do it. Come out, come like you see
Like at
nowadays.
the restaurant.
The restaurants they come out.
Maybe you're
Retail,
hungry, OJ.
huh?
Since you said chicken, maybe you're hungry.
Oh, I love chicken. Yeah, probably. I need Popeyes. Uh, Good little maybe that'll give us a Popeyes promotion or
That's
something.
right. That's right. Yeah. So if you're a restaurant or uh, either some other type of business, coffee shop or whatever, yeah, the handhelds. Okay, so I interrupted your. but that's where
A
you work.
coffee shop would be a perfect example where you can do quick serve. You have one terminal at the end, the buffet. It comes, if it's a fine dine restaurant where you want handhelds. I mean, it's nuts to bolts, so it's turnkey solution. We get it set up. They get trained by the vendor
Mhm.
themselves, like you were mentioning. They get trained perfect by them, and it's their support, of course. They support their systems themselves.
Mhm.
We're not the specialists when it comes to that. We are the processor. So when it comes to a full blown POS like ePause, they have their own support, and it's 24/7 support from them.
And they're so great from what I've experienced from now I also have. So, do you have anything particular to healthcare providers or let's say med spa owners, functional medicine practices, chiropractors? Do you have something that would be right up their alley?
Yeah, we have what we call Rectangle Health, also called Bridge Pay.
Mhm.
I think it's called the new system. This system is cloud-based and can overlay pretty much any system out there, uh,
Which is cool because I
which
think
is very
that's,
cool.
yeah,
So you don't need to go buy a whole new system. We
right.
can overlay this system cloud-based, and again, it's real time. And the funny thing is, I'm getting, and this is off the subject here, but Manny is trying to
Mhm.
get a hold of me right now. Who's
Oh,
that head of the
he
department?
heard us talking about him.
Yeah, his ears are bleeding because I've got Ashley, my golden child over there's uh, teams letting me know Manny's on hold wanting to speak with me. So
Oh,
that's so funny. But man, again, great support. That's a perfect example. This guy, he's on top of it. He's always trying
right.
to get, hey, let's talk, let's do this. Got us.
Yes,
And 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 it's a great system. It's very simple to set up. It's user friendly, and it's again cloud based. So it sits on top of your current system, or you can replace your system with it.
right.
Some people like it. Some people want to replace it. It can go both ways, but again, cloud-based. So it's hard to explain until you see it because it just takes over your whole system. And
It does. You almost need a demo
you
because
almost need a demo to understand it because it's very simple but complex because it's like,
Mhm.
wow, it's pretty amazing the way it can take over the system for you.
Well, I guess the way I like to think of it is it's just got so many, so much functionality that you're right that it could take over some possible systems. Or I think in my mind too, well, they may have an insurance system over here that
Mm.
they're dealing with, and maybe they're stuck with, a particular credit card situation in that system. But then you come over here in your cash pay business and you could use something like Rectangle Health to go over your existing or be a standalone. I mean, some of the reporting that he showed me, I mean, I can't list them all off, but the reports that you can do and all the functions are amazing. And both of the systems that OJ is talking about, we can easily set you up with a demo. So how the process works is I get out of the way. I just really am making connections because I want to help providers save money and make money. And of course, serve their patients to optimum well-being. But my job really is to create referrals to Total Pay Solutions. And then OJ listens to what you need and figures out what type of business you're in. And, will either he or I, well, you will connect them to do the demo.
Correct. Yes. In a nutshell, that's pretty much correct. Yeah, we will have a conversation, and then of course, our relationship manager with a Rectangle Health would do the demo for
Hmm.
us, and then of course, they are the specialist, so they would take that and get you set up, get you supported. Obviously, we're there to handhold and make sure everything's going copacetic. Everything's
Right,
correct.
right.
Any questions that you may have that we can answer for you. So you're not alone when you're being set up. You have a whole team helping you.
And remind me, is that Leanne?
That is Leanne.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
yeah, she's great too.
Yeah.
So in winding up, is there anything else that you would like to add that we have forgotten to talk about today?
Uh, Maybe it's just how funding works. Real
Okay,
quick.
yeah, yeah.
We have the ability to do same day funding, which is very rare now. So we can actually also a big benefit with us is that you don't have to wait next day or 48 hours for your funding. We have the ability to batch you out and have your income
Money in the
money
bank.
within 3 hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, Now, obviously, there is a little cost to that.
They could
You
choose that, you're saying, like if they wanted to have
you
the
can
same day.
choose it because
Okay.
obviously there's step, but we are able to do that, which has helped a lot of businesses, especially startup businesses,
Right.
being able to get their money within, before 24 hours, they can get it within a couple of hours. They're batched and the money's already in their bank account. Um, the I think that's a huge
Yeah.
benefit for merchants. There's no reason for them, especially for ones that are hurting.
Right.
Uh, hate to say hurting, but need that money to start.
Slower or at a slower period or startup. Yeah.
Yeah, startups, things like that. Contracts and cancellations. We do put well, this is another thing that we do. We do put offer a free terminal,
Hmm.
which is a VP100 Valor, which is cloud based, which we've been talking about.
Right.
Uh, with the back office portal. Now, the back office portal is more of a reporting system. You can either
Mhm.
turn it on to be able to do a to act enact make it inactive like we've been talking about, or
Hmm.
just a basic reporting system where you can pull your reports from the terminal.
Right.
Uh, Also, the terminal, if you do turn on the back office portal, where it becomes an actual system that you can interact with, you can connect your front office terminals to QuickBooks, which no,
Oh,
we
that's cool.
do that. So you create an invoice on the back office, shoot it to your terminal in the front, and run that transaction. It can
So
also
they're
do that
in communication.
in communications, which is great. It's amazing system that we offer. But on the note that I'm trying to stay on,
Yeah.
we do give merchants a free VP one VP terminal uh, signing in. So we give those out all day long, and they're
Awesome.
great workhorse terminals, easy to download, easy to fix. If it goes down, we can have one out to you next day, fully loaded. Uh, because they're cloud based. Also, if it does go down on you, we will temporarily set you up with the virtual terminal, the one that we're talking
Okay.
about, no cost, so you can continue running your cards while we get you a new terminal out there for you.
So is it best to have, well, since you taught us the lesson that it's cheaper for people to tap, do most people opt in to have a virtual terminal, or is that offered in all the situations where you could put somebody in manually? Like, let's say for the subscriptions, that would obviously be in some sort of virtual terminal, right? I may not
Yes,
be using the right language.
that would be the virtual terminal, the valid
Okay.
virtual terminal. Yes. Do people opt in? It's depending on the industry. If it's a you know restaurant or a baking shop or whoever, they don't need the virtual terminal
Right.
because they'll be running it on the credit card. If they're a warehouse or some type of where they need to have inventory,
Right.
they want to be able to connect to QuickBooks. Well,
Mm.
QuickBooks already comes with it, so that's already part of the system. That comes with the system. Basically they want to run transactions, create QR codes, run send invoices, uh, set up different payment programs. That is something that would be that is added on, but
That's cool.
yeah, it's very
Mm.
simple to do, and it allows so it's really dependent on the customers, the merchants needs. We
Right.
don't, like I say, they can also build into it. they don't need it to start with. We don't want to put something in there that's overkill,
Right,
uh, but has the ability to grow. Real quick, EPOS, same system. It comes with all the bells and whistles that
mhm,
others do not. It blows toast out of the water when it comes all the bells
right,
and whistles. It blows the water out of any retail because like Clover, you buy Clover, it's just a oversized credit card terminal. There's nothing there but to run. There's no. You have to purchase all the different apps to make it work the way you want
right.
it. With ePause, it's all built in.
It is
It is
very,
built in, and
it's
so
very stellar. I don't
yeah,
know.
so it's very easy. There's no additional purchasing of apps that you need to get things done, and so that's where a lot of the savings comes in and the ability to move at a very fast pace.
Well, what I like that you're saying is you're going to cater a solution or solutions in plural to whatever type of business it is. And, what I think is interesting and cool is I've watched the ePause demo multiple times, and the rectangle. And like, I was thinking ePause may not be for healthcare or a med spa or whatever, but she did say that because they have so many other programs and apps that can go in, like she mentioned, Appointed with a double D. And I went and looked at that. And yes, that actually adds a scheduling component that maybe a med spa or chiropractor, massage therapist, or, not a huge business or whatever it can do besides being a restaurant.
Yeah,
You can color code things, you can put pictures of the burger or the massage or the facial or whatever on the icon and make it, as you said, dummy proof for anybody running the front. And I don't say that meanly because it's one of the hardest jobs to work up front and to deal with payment while you're doing all the other tasks. Um,
it is, and that's the great thing about it. That it makes it very simple to use. The buttons are that they make sense. A
they
lot of
do.
a lot of POS systems have buttons everywhere, and you're like, wait a minute, what do I do next? No,
Right.
ePOS is boom, 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 and you're good. Um, it's very simple, it's a great system, and like you say,
Mhm.
it has all types of different abilities. It's not
Mhm.
it works in different atmospheres, uh, different businesses, different
Mhm.
because it has the most very robust. It does do scheduling. It does, and it comes with all of this.
Right.
You choose it comes with everything you just said. It comes with.
Right.
What we do is we set it up accordingly to the type of business. So, we're not going to set the same thing up as a restaurant. You
Right.
don't need tips. So maybe
Exactly.
you do, but you don't need the type of, restaurant inventory. You don't need
Right.
any, you don't need the modulars. You don't need any of that. We can do it with it or without it, and you can even set up modulars and with a spa. Hey, they want facial,
Yep.
and they also want foot massage. I don't really get into spas, but I
That's
understand.
okay. You can do bundles.
Yeah,
Let's
you can do
say.
bundles. Exactly, you can bundle it up to special price. You can discount. You can
You can
send
do
out
gift cards, like you
cards,
said.
set up gift cards. You can do it. It's an amazing.
You can run a tab.
It can run a tab. It can pre-auth cards. If a certain business wants to pre-auth cards to make sure the money's there before they run the card.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with big transactions. I've had it. Unfortunately, businesses back in the day run large transactions before they could be pre-auth, and they lost thousands. Some of them lost their business, and that's to the extreme. But you don't want to run a card unless you know that money's
Right.
there.
Well, I mean,
Cards too.
let's uh, like if maybe you don't know the spa industry as well, you're in other businesses, but let's just say that some of those services could be anywhere from 59.99 up to thousands. So I think having a pre-auth is a great solution, or even some concierge programs or functional medicine or, you know, a hormone transaction where it's at least, potentially if it's a guy, and they're getting supplements and they're doing their labs and they're doing the pellets or that kind of thing, it could be 1,000 plus. So it is helpful to be able to either A, pay it out, like the subscription, or get a pre-auth and make sure that the business gets paid for the person using the service.
Yep.
And a
Yep.
lot, what I always taught my practices before they came in is to try to pay for the pellets and everything at the beginning so that there's nobody just walking out with their hormones. So, but anyway, that functionality is amazing for practices and all different types of businesses. So, is there anything else that we forgot? We can always come back again if we forgot something, but what do you think?
Um, well, I guess the last thing I'd say, never base your decision on rates.
Okay, because
Don't
why?
because the rates are gonna a lot because you're not gonna get sometimes what you want. Here's because a lot of times people base on rates and then they're forced down their throat a system that's not going to work for them.
Right.
And I hate to throw Clover under the bus, but like example, you have to work around their you have to change your business type to fit what they've offered you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of us working around the way your business works. Um, Rates is important, especially if you're being overcharged. But if you're getting a good rate, you need to also look at customer service. You need to look at the
How are you
support,
being taken care of? Yeah.
how you're being taken care of. I mean, we can beat or meet any rate out there. We have fantastic partnerships and pricing structures, so that's never an issue with us being able to price a merchant accordingly.
Right.
But what a lot of them don't get after that is support.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
like let me chat with the person that's a robot. It's AI.
Call when we have phone numbers. You call, you get a live
Right.
person.
You have people.
You will people. Well, that's the way I like it. I don't
Me
like
too.
even myself. I don't like having to go send an email before I can get a response 24 hours later. No, we don't do that. You call us, we answer the phone. You
Right.
call after hours, there's somebody there answering the phone. We pick up, and that is a huge
It's
ordeal
huge.
for me.
Right.
And I imagine anyone else that wants real support because one thing that frustrates me is when I need help and I've got to send an email to
Exactly.
support and wait 24 hours or whatever to get back and the issues now, not 24 hours later.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think
Agreed. Who
being
wants to chat with a
a
chat
robot
bot?
AI
Nobody.
and then they want to argue with you asking you, I need a live agent. Well, maybe I can no, I want a live agent. I
I want
somebody
a
I
person, man.
want a person. And we still believe in that and value that 100%.
Right.
I never change that.
I love that. Well, I thank you for taking the time today. So, you will see a link somewhere in the post or the text down below this video, and that is my link. And it will tell you a little bit more about Total Pay Solutions. It'll ask for some basic information so that if you're wanting to find out more information about anything we talked about today, then OJ can contact you. And you would be the point of contact, correct?
Uh,
Or,
well, I would assign an agent.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but yes, they can send the information to me and then I'll have an agent reach out to them.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time, OJ, and telling us about all these something that seems mysterious and magical to some of us that are not numbers people. But anyway, I love it because you make it understandable. And
Well, good, good.
so thank you. And we look forward to talking to you and working with you and helping your business. All right, with that, we sign out. Let's see if I can find the button.
Right.